Hey guys, welcome back to Contest Prep University. I'm Joe Klemczewski with Adam Atkinson. We are going to wrap up our series on contest diet methodology with intuitive eating. And we were just talking off camera, and Adam and I have the same experience where an awful lot of people, either if they just have structure or discipline issues, or their schedule just is not conducive with meal planning and having the right foods, they might lean into something called intuitive eating. But a lot of people do it for the wrong reason, Adam. Maybe the wrong reason. I'll give you my interpretation and see what you think. But a lot of people think the body, quote, tells us what it needs. So instead of sticking to a meal plan or a lot of structure, or even flexibility, because flexible dieting includes the premise that you're going to have a certain amount of protein, carbs, fat, and this is your overall plan. Intuitive eating is just saying, well, my body's going to tell me what I need, and so I'll just eat that, and everything will work out. I would hope that person still has some anchoring to some diet principles and their goals, but do you have clients that give you resistance and want to drag you in this direction, first of all, Adam?
Oh, absolutely. And they're usually the worst type of clients to do this type of dieting too.
I was trying to be so nice, and you just went right in with the hammer.
And I usually tell them, you will see a magician or two that can hit a target blindfolded. But, if you think you can do that, that's great. But I personally, I always say, instead of intuitive eating, I'll save you the $12.99 Amazon book, and you can try intelligent eating instead, which is taking what you've learned from our current macro tracking and applying what you know. And that is usually a much better outcome than, intuitive eating.
Seems I've hit a sensitive spot with Adam today, guys. So yeah, I do agree, and I'm giving the benefit of the doubt that these people actually still have that goal. But here is my biggest problem with that is I'm just not sure that's correct. I mean, does the body really tell you what you need? It's more craving to me. It's out of all of the options in my kitchen right now, I can tell you that the Moose Track ice cream is something my body would crave more than that chicken breast or something else. So, I mean, my body tells me a lot of things that aren't in my best interest. So I just, like I said, I think we should scoot this over under the umbrella of flexible dieting and say, yes, you can have more and more flexibility if you want to call it intuitive, but we still have to have some guidelines, or it's just going to go off the tracks too quickly.
Yeah. I think, one of the biggest things is having some structure. You don't have to track forever, but, using what you learned, just like you said, 3 of your meals for every day for the past few years have been the same meals. And there's nothing wrong with that unless you start hating those meals. So you can always track one of those meals differently and just recalibrate that meal into something else later on.
And guys, again, to be fair, that's one of my underlying points of this whole series. I would say, at least still track. I would hope you're doing that, and say, what if you're just not hungry one morning, and so you skip breakfast? You're still tracking food. Maybe you'll be hungrier, for lunch, and you have a little bit bigger lunch. And as long as you have some guidelines for those macros and that intake, even if it's groupings of a couple days, like, well, my protein was a little low yesterday, so I'm going to get that up today. It's not that you're just necessarily eating what you want intuitively, but, I see other people do this successfully who are not competing for sport or physique sport. They just, they maintain very well by eating what they want when they want, but it's still within those principled eating decisions. So again, I think to your point, Adam, you still want to have some of those goals, but I would give somebody the flexibility to at least track that way and see if we can bring their intuition in line with something that at least is working very progressively toward their goals.
One thing I've implemented very well with clients that want to do this is meet in the middle, where we only track protein intake and calories only. So making sure you hit your protein and give them a calorie range to stay in. So then they're not so focused on 3 exact numbers, and that can be very freeing to people.
I think that's a great concession. That's a really good move. So, all right, guys. Well, that's it. That's our entire series on different contest prep diet methodologies that you can try. And as we always like to say, any topics you want to cover, I know we've got a lot in the tank here already, but different nuanced looks at different topics would be great. Just let us know. And at the time of this recording, I get to see Adam next week at the North Americans in Pittsburgh. So we'll get some extra promo footage there for you guys, and hopefully come up with some new topics for you there. So until then, thank you, Adam, and we will catch you guys next time.